If you're a CrossFitter, you know the CrossFit Games are happening this week, which is really exciting because there are some changes happening this year and I am excited to see how it all plays out. So yesterday, the Morning Chalk Up actually released that there will be no CrossFit Games happening in Madison in 2024. So there was rumored throughout the year that there was going to happen in some place in Alabama, which is really random. And also people were like, in Alabama in the summer is insane. Like Madison's already hot, so imagine Alabama, it's like 10 times hotter. That being said, they said, no, we're gonna go to Madison. So Morning Chalk Up quickly released a thing saying, where are the 2024 CrossFit Games? Birmingham, Alabama? No. Madison? Question mark? Yes. And then they said, wait a minute, somewhere else. According to the Morning Chalk Up, they said earlier today, CrossFit said the CrossFit Games gives us an opportunity to engage with our existing community and also expose new people to CrossFit. Over time, our goal is to bring the games to more regions around the world. We've had an incredible run in Madison. We're so grateful to the city and the local community. We will announce the location of the 2024 CrossFit Games shortly after the conclusion of the season. Makes sense. So now everyone's questioning, where are the CrossFit Games going to be? Because it's always been, well, it hasn't always been in Madison, but for the past couple of years, it's been in Madison. My theory is that they're going to head over to Europe. I've talked to a couple people. I think it's going to be in the UK personally, just because I feel like in the UK, there's a really big CrossFit community. However, I actually talked to Beth quickly on this topic, and she thinks that it's actually going to be in Berlin, Germany. So maybe that it might be over there, but I really think that they're gonna jump across the pond and go that way. Personally, of course, I would love if they're gonna actually come to Canada. That would be really cool because then it's closer to me and it's a bit easier to travel to. I mean, Madison's not that far from me, but also it's just nice if it's in Canada, which that would be interesting. I'd be really curious to see which part of Canada they would decide to put it in. That being said, I kind of feel like this is a big move for CrossFit. That is a big investment just because they have all the centers, they have all the facilities in Madison that they don't need to set up more. They kind of can play with what they already have. Whereas when it comes to different locations, they might have to pay more for equipment to be there, things to happen, like different locations that they have to rent. So I'm really curious if it's going to be more of an expense for them to go somewhere in the world. And I'm thinking if they went to Europe, it's going to be definitely more of an expense. And it's also a different expense for athletes. But at the same time, it's kind of nice because some of the athletes who have to pay a lot, who are coming from Europe, coming from even Australia, maybe it'll be in Australia. But as I was saying, same with the athletes. We have a lot of athletes that come from different parts of the world who have to travel, pay expenses to go to America, which can be kind of expensive to do that. So a lot of athletes are putting out expenses for that, and a lot of American athletes actually are very lucky because they don't have to put out that much money to travel to Madison. However, that might change for a lot of the American athletes who now have to pay to bring themselves, let's say it's happening in Europe, they have to pay themselves from going to America to Europe. It kind of changes things up and it makes it, honestly, I think a little more fair to all the athletes, that it's not just always happening in America, that it's happening in different parts of the world, so that maybe it might be a little cheaper for them to travel to. Also, it'd be really cool to go to different CrossFit Games around the world. I think that this is cool. I really hope that they bring it to a different part of the world and not just in another part of America. Let me know in the comments where you think it's gonna be. So now let's talk about some of the CrossFit workouts, which I am excited that they actually released some of the workouts. They didn't give full details, which I'm sure there's always gonna be like a little twist to some of these, but I'm excited to see how these kind of play out. And it's exciting that they kind of released what some of the workouts are going to look like. So the first workout that they kind of released is Helen. They did that in the CrossFit Games before, which was a variation, and now they're going to be doing it again, another version of Helen is what they said. They said all individual age group and adaptive athletes will do a version of the benchmark workout Helen. So Helen is 3 rounds, 400-meter run, 21 kettlebell swings, and 12 pull-ups. I think personally, I'd love to know what you guys think the version is going to be. I think that they're going to do a little bit more of a longer run, and I think instead of pull-ups, it's going to be like bar muscle ups. That's my theory. I think kettlebells will stay the same, maybe a little bit heavier, but I think it'll be bar muscle ups. So they also announced that there's going to be a 5K cross-country run, which is interesting, but kind of something that we're already expecting, which I'm going to kind of add on to that in just a second. But I saw that Chandler Smith, I think he posted an Instagram story or a comment somewhere, which I can't find, but I did see it. And he said that, I'm paraphrasing by the way, when it comes to fitness or testing fitness, that there's always going to be a main modality, and that is running. And he's not wrong. We've seen a lot of running in the past couple of years at the CrossFit Games, like a lot of running. And Honestly, it's true. Running at the end of the day is going to be a good test to your fitness. That being said, a couple days ago, CrossFit also released that there will be a Trek mountain bike event, which is something that I think is going to be added on to the cross country run. I think that they're going to do like cross country run, the 5K, and then they're going to do some sort of mountain biking kind of course after that, or mountain biking course first and then the run after that. I think that those two things are actually going to go together. That's my opinion, and I would love to know if you guys think that down below. These mountain bikes I find always make things a little bit interesting, and I saw Pat Vellner, he was testing out some mountain biking. I guess you call it mountain bike, trail biking. I don't know what the heck you call it. Trail biking, I think it's called trail biking. Anyways, saw him practicing that, and he said he only wiped out twice, which I think is pretty good for him, because usually he ends up getting the shit end of the stick and gets just destroyed on workouts like that. So we'll see how that goes for him.
Each had horrible falls on the cargo net in the battleground presented by the
CrossFit also released another test, and that is the Olympic weightlifting total. I am excited for that. I love the heavy stuff. I love watching the heavy stuff. It's exciting to me, and I think this will be exciting. They're gonna do a 1 rep max of a clean and jerk and a snatch, which the snatch always makes me a little bit nervous when athletes are just attempting their 1 rep max, because sometimes the snatch can go wrong in so many different ways. It stresses me out just a little bit. So I did see some rumor that it's going to be only 2 attempts. I think it's just going to be a horde of them, not just one at a time, just a big heat of them, and then just try and hit your snatch in that time, try and hit your clean and jerk in that time. It's going to be a lot quicker than watching one athlete go at a time. I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but pretty much that they're going to do Olympic weightlifting total, which I think will be fun to see, and I really hope that a lot of the stronger athletes tend to make it, because there will be a cut before that, because it's going to be only 30 athletes. So I'm really hoping that some of the stronger athletes will make it through, so we could see some big numbers up there. CrossFit also released that there will be gymnastic skills. We weren't really sure what they meant by that, but then they released videos of Pat Vellner. He was doing the bars and the dips, that kind of thing, which I think that they'll bring back. I think that was a really great thing that they had last year, and it will be nice to see if that comes back. And then on top of that, they were showing Daniel Brandon running over the obstacles, which handstand stuff, running over that stuff, I think will be really nice to see. Maybe they'll do the mix again where they have to do the handstands over the bars. I'm sure we'll see some handstand bar thing variation. I find that they get really creative when it comes to the gymnastic stuff, so that will be interesting, but they didn't really release much detail, so I think it's going to be an exciting and fun and different kind of test to watch. And then the last test that CrossFit has released so far, I mean, I'm filming this on a Sunday, they still have time to release stuff. However, they did release individual test number 2, which is called the pig chipper, which we love the pig. That's a fun thing to watch too. That's another heavy thing I love to watch. So the workout is 4 times 10 pig flips, 25 chest to bar pull-ups, 50 toes to bar, 100 wall ball shots, 50 toes to bar, 25 chest to bar, 10 pig flips. Time cap 18 minutes. Some of the smaller athletes I think will really struggle with the first part of this workout and the last part of this workout. Someone I think who is just gonna dominate at this workout is Laura Horvath. I see her just freaking killing this workout. I actually like this workout because it has a heavy element, it has a lot of gymnastic-y stuff, and then it has those wall balls in the middle, 100 wall balls, which is just gonna kill your breathing, and then you have to go back and do those things. And especially, like, I find your breathing, it's going to be jacked up for the last of that gymnastic stuff, and then going into those pig flips, I mean, I can't say I'm an expert on pig flips, but I feel like that's going to be kind of difficult. So those are really all the workouts that CrossFit has released. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I just want to hear what's happening in your brains, and I'm excited to see it this year because the girls, it's changing up. We don't have Mal O'Brien, we don't have Tia Claire Toomey, 2 of the really big athletes. So it's going to be a really big toss up to who's actually going to win on the female side, which is exciting because we haven't seen a different female on top of the podium. Personally, my heart goes to Laura Horvath, or even my newcomer Emma Lawson. We love her. She was there last year. She's a Canadian, so I gotta love her. But also Emma Carey, I'm excited to see how she does this year too. Let me know who you guys think is gonna be on top of the podium this year, especially on the female side. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. You guys know where it is. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Cold inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown.